Visualization. Use the power of your imagination to create what you want in your life. By Shakati Gawain. Gawain, I believe, if I'm saying it wrong. I apologize. This book is dedicated to you. Okay. Publisher's Preface. I met Shakati Gawain in Berkeley, California in 1974. When we were both in our 20s, Shakati had just spent 2 years working her way around the world, traveling overland across Europe and Asia. She has spent several months in India, and her experiences there have particularly impacted her. We quickly discovered we had a lot in common, including a deep dedication to personal development, a fascination with integrating the spiritual and psychological wisdom of East and West, and a strong desire to make a positive difference in the world. In 1977, we co-wrote and published a little book called Reunion. Tools for Transformation. We had no capital and very little business experience. But after each small step we took, the next step became obvious. Looking back, it felt as if we were led by spirit every step of the way. In 1978, Shakati wrote her first book, Creative Visualization. We initially printed 2,000 copies of the book. We had to borrow money to pay the printing bill. I don't recall that we spent anything at all on promotion. I don't think we sent out even one review copy, but the print run sold out quickly purely by word of mouth. Booksellers kept telling us that people would want 5 or 10 we had to borrow money to pay the printing bill. I don't recall that we spent anything at all on promotion. I don't think we sent out even one review copy, but the print run sold out quickly, purely by word of mouth. Booksellers kept telling us that people would come in, buy a copy, and return a few days later and want 5 or 10 copies to give to their friends. The book initially sold itself. I'm sure it was because of Shakati's clear, beautiful writing, as well as the solid content of the book. It was the kind of book people wanted to read and reread, the kind of book people kept in a special place and cherished for everything it had given them. It was the rare kind of book that helps people make wonderful changes in their lives. We started to get deeply touching letters from readers very soon after publication. Each one had a story. Story after story began to pour in. One of my favorites summed up the feelings of many readers. Other self-help books I've read have made me feel as if someone was pointing a finger at me and telling me this is how it is. But Shakati took me by the hand, led me into a beautiful garden, and handed me a bouquet of flowers, one at a time. Quietly, gently, and with great caring, thank you for a beautiful book. Creative Visualization has now sold more than 6 million copies, more than 3 million in North America, and at least another 3 million throughout the world in 35 foreign editions. It has proven to be a seminal work with global influence. The book launched Shakati's career as an internationally known and loved speaker and seminar leader, and it launched my career as a publisher as well. The book has shown us both how to visualize and create success, and I am eternally grateful that Shakati had the vision and courage to write it. It is my hope and prayer that reading Creative Visualization will help you create exactly the kind of life you want, so that you're truly fulfilled, prosperous, healthy, and filled with creative energy. You hold a book in your hands that has helped a great many people improve the quality of their lives. Mark Allen, June 2002. Introduction to the Revised Edition. It's hard for me to believe that this has been so many years since Creative Visualization was first published. At the time, I was 30 years old and just in the process of discovering my life's work. For a number of years, I have been an active seeker, dedicating myself to exploring Eastern philosophy and Western psychological an attempt to discover the deeper meaning and pure purpose of my life. Certain ideas and techniques I had learned were in fact having a profound effect on my awareness and my way of living. I'm the kind of person who once I discover something meaningful, simply can't help it telling everyone who's willing to listen. So I found myself beginning to counsel people and lead small groups and workshops teaching the concepts and exercises that were helping me solve my personal problems and expand my awareness. It occurred to me that it might be a good idea to write these things down in a little book that I could make available to my students. As I was writing the book, I experienced alternating waves of creative enthusiasm and self-doubt, thinking, who am I to write a book telling people how to find greater happiness and fulfillment in life? I'm certainly no expert. My life isn't perfect. My friend Mark Allen helped me get through the rough spots, encouraging me to stop worrying about it and just focus on my creative process. We decided to publish the book ourselves, even though we have very little knowledge of publishing and even less money. Somehow we managed to get the book out there in a few bookstores. The rest is history. People seem to love the book and is sold by word of mouth. The rest is history. People seem to love the book, and it was sold word of mouth. Gradually, over the next few years, it became a bestseller and continues to be very popular to this day all over the world. I think one reason for its popularity is that it is short, simple, practical, and has techniques that readers can begin using immediately and effectively. It has been extremely satisfying to receive thousands of letters telling me how much this book has helped people with specific and sometimes serious problems. I'm grateful to have been given the opportunity to contribute in this way. My work has blossomed right along with this book. For many years, I've been leading workshops all over the world, and I have written and published several other books. Creative Visualization helped me find my path in life. As it has helped others, the time has come for a new revised edition. I've made relatively few changes, simply trying to clarify certain points, deepen certain concepts, and generally update it. If you are already familiar with the first edition, I hope you enjoyed the changes. If this is your first experience with creative visualization, may it help you create all that your heart and soul desire. Shakati Gawain, May 2002. A letter to my readers. Dear friends, I decided to write this book because it seemed like the best way I could think of to share with others the many wonderful things I've learned, which have so deepened and expanded my experience and enjoyment of life. I do not consider myself by any means an expert on the art of creative visualization. I am a student of the subject, and the more I study and use creative visualization myself, the more I discover how vast and deep its potential is. Truly, it is as infinitely creative as your own imagination. This book is meant as an introduction and workbook for learning and using creative visualization. Very little of the material is original to me. It is a synthesis of the most practical and useful ideas and techniques that I've learned in my personal study. My sources are many. I've included at the end of the list recommended resources that I think you'll find interesting and helpful. This book contains many different techniques. You'll probably find that it works best not to try to absorb them all at once, but more gradually. I suggest that you read the book slowly, trying some of the exercises as you go along, and giving yourself a chance to absorb them deeply. Or you might want to read it once through and then reread it more slowly. This book is my gift to you in love. May it be a blessing to you. May it help you bring more and more joy, satisfaction, and beauty into your life. May it nurture the light that is shining within you. Enjoy. Love, Shakati. Part 1. Basics of Creative Visualization. It gotta be a good book if they have to write like all those openings. Right? I'm hoping. I never read this before. Every moment of your life is infinitely creative, and the universe is endlessly bountiful. Just put forth a clear enough request, and everything your heart truly desires must come to you. What is creative visualization? Creative visualization is the technique of using your imagination to create what you want in your life. There is nothing at all new, strange, or unusual about creative visualization. You are already using it every day, every minute, in fact. It is your natural power of imagination, the basic creative energy of the universe, which you use constantly, whether or not you're aware of it. In the past, many of us have used our power of creative visualization in a relatively unconscious way. Because of our own deep-seated negative concepts about life, we have automatically and unconsciously expected and imagined lack, limitation, difficulties, and problems to be our lot in life. To one degree or another, that is what we have created for ourselves. This book is about learning to use your natural creative imagination in a more and more conscious way as a technique to create what you would truly want: love, fulfillment, enjoyment, satisfying relationships, rewarding work, self-expression, health, beauty, prosperity, inner peace, and harmony, whatever your heart desires. The use of creative visualization gives us a key to tap into the natural goodness and bounty of life. Imagination is the ability to create an idea, a mental picture, or a feeling sense of something. In creative visualization, you will use your imagination to create a clear image, idea, or feeling of something you wish to manifest. Then you continue to focus on the idea, feeling, or picture regularly, giving it positive energy until it becomes objective reality. In other words, until you actually achieve what you have been imagining. Your goal may be on any level: physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual. You might imagine yourself with a new home, or with a new job, or having satisfying relationships, or feeling calm and serene, or perhaps with an improved memory, learning ability, or you might picture yourself handling a difficult situation effortlessly, or simply see yourself as a radiant being filled with life energy. You can work on any level and all will have results. Through experience, you will find the particular images and techniques that work best for you. My own locks keep going in my ear. Let us say, for example, that you are feeling unsatisfied in your current job situation. If you feel that the job is basically right for you, but there are factors that need improvement, you can begin by imagining the improvements that you desire. If that doesn't work, or if you feel that you would prefer a new job, then focus on imagining yourself in the employment situation that you desire. Either way, the technique is basically the same. After relaxing into a deep, quiet, meditative state of mind, imagine that you are working in your ideal situation. Imagine yourself in the physical setting or environment that you would like, doing work that you enjoy and find satisfying, interacting with people in a harmonious way, receiving appreciation and appropriate financial compensation. Add any other details that are important for you, such as the hours you work, the amount of autonomy and responsibility you have, and so on. Try to get a feeling in yourself that is possible. Experience it as if it were already happening. In short, imagine it exactly the way you would like it to be, as if it were already so. Repeat this short, simple exercise often, perhaps twice a day, or whenever you think about it. If you desire an intention to make a change, or clear chances are good that you may find some type of shift taking place in your work fairly soon. It should be noted that this technique cannot be used to control the behavior of others or cause them to do something against their will. Its effect is to dissolve our internal barriers to natural harmony and self-realization, allowing everyone to manifest in his or her most positive aspect. To use creative visualization, it is not necessary to believe in any metaphysical or spiritual ideas, though you must be willing to entertain certain concepts as being possible. It is not necessary to have faith in any power outside yourself. I'm only reading. The only thing necessary is that you have the desire to enrich your knowledge and experience, and an open enough mind to try something new in a new positive spirit. Study the principles, try the techniques with an open mind and heart. Then judge for yourself whether they are useful to you. If so, continue using them, developing them, and soon the changes in yourself and your life will probably exceed anything you could have originally dreamed of. Creative visualization is magic in the truest and highest meaning of the word. It involves understanding and aligning yourself with natural principles that govern the workings of our universe, and learning to use these principles in the most conscious and creative way. If you had never seen a gorgeous flower or a spectacular sunset before, and someone described one to you, you might consider it to be a miraculous thing, which it truly is. Once you saw a few yourself and began to learn something about the natural laws involved, you would begin to understand how they are formed, and it would seem natural to you, and not particularly mysterious. The same is true of the process of creative visualization. What at first might seem amazing or impossible to the very limited type of education our rational minds have received becomes perfectly understandable once we learn and practice with the underlying concepts involved. Once you do so, it may seem that you are working miracles in your life, and truly will be. Alright, we're on to the next one. Yeah, let's see, because these are not like numbered chapters, but we're getting onto it, like this is chapter 2-ish. I'm gonna call that one, we're gonna leave it at page 8 for creative visualization. And then I'm gonna grab one more book for us to read. I'm looking at my bookshelf, you guys, which book I want to grab us to read together today. Let's read We're reading because of Winn-Dixie, but I'm going to take a pause on that. Let's see. I got all these Lifetime magazines. Let's go through the magazine real quick. The last one I got was... There you go. They do have some interesting articles, but oop, just realized I don't want to really have the magazine out. I'm glad I held it the way I did. Dear Lord. Okay. This is a wellness book. This is interesting. I'm gonna read that as a personal. All these books makes it so hard. Okay. Maybe. Ooh, shiitake. Like, I'm trying to find reads that I know I can get through quickly with you guys. Okay, this one has 11 chapters. Yeah, we can read this. We'll get through this. This is not bad. Okay, we're gonna read Richest Man in Babylon, the original edition by George S. Clayton. That's not Clayton. All right, The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clayton. There are 11 chapters, a foreword, and about the author. 91 pages total for this book. Okay. In the foreword. Our prosperity as a nation depends on the personal financial prosperity of each of us as individuals. This book deals with the personal successes of each of us. Success means accomplishments. As a result of our own efforts and abilities, proper preparation is the key to our success. Our acts can be no wiser than our thoughts. Our thinking can be no wiser than our understanding. This book of cures for lean purses has been termed a guide to financial understanding. That indeed is its purpose, to offer those who are ambitious for financial success as insight which will aid them to acquire money, to keep money, and to make their surpluses earn more money. In the pages which follow, we are taken back to Babylon, the cradle in which was nurtured the basic principles of finance now, recognized and used the world over. To new readers, the author is happy to extend the wish that its pages may contain for them the same inspiration for growing bank accounts, greater financial successes, and the solution of difficult personal financial problems so enthusiastically reported by readers from coast to coast. To the business executives who have distributed these tales in such generous quantities to friends, relatives, employees, and associates, the author takes this opportunity to express his gratitude. No endorsement could be higher than that of practical men who appreciate its teachings, because they themselves have worked up to important successes by applying the very principles it advocates. Babylon became the wealthiest city of the ancient world because its citizens were the richest people of their time. They appreciated the value of money. They practiced sound financial principles in acquiring money, keeping money, and making their money, earn money, and they provided for themselves what we'll all desire, incomes for the future. man who desired gold. Banser, the chariot builder of Babylon, was thoroughly discouraged from his seat upon the low wall surrounding his property. He gazed sadly at his simple home and the open workshop in which stood a partially completed chariot. His wife frequently appeared at the open door. Her furtive glances in his direction reminded him that the meal bag was almost empty and he should be at work finishing the chariot, hammering and hewing, polishing and painting, stretching taut the leather over the wheel rims, preparing it for delivery, so he could collect from his wealthy customer. Nevertheless, his fat, muscular body sat stolidly upon the wall. His slow mind was struggling patiently with the problem for which he could find no answer. The hot tropical sun, so typical of this valley of the Euphrates, beat down upon him mercilessly. Beads of perspiration formed upon his brow and trickled down unnoticed to lose themselves in the hairy jungle of his chest. Beyond his home towered the high terrace wall surrounding the king's palace. Nearby, cleaving the blue heavens, was the painted tower of the Temple of Bel. In the shadow of such a grandeur was his simple home and many others far less neat and well cared for. Babylon was like this, a mixture of grandeur and squalor, of dazzling wealth and duress poverty, crowded together with a plan or system within the protecting walls of the city. Behind him, had he cared to turn and look, the noisy chariots of the rich jostled and crowded aside the sandaled tradesmen, as well as the barefooted beggars. Even the rich were forced to turn into gutters to clear the way for the long lines of slave water carriers. On the king's business, each bearing a heavy goat skin of water to be poured upon the hanging gardens, Banser was too engrossed in his own problem to hear or to heed the confused hubbub of the busy city. It was the unexpected twanging of the strings from the familiar lyre that aroused him from his reverie. He turned and looked into the sensitive, smiling face of his best friend Kobe, the musician. May the gods bless thee with great liberality, my good friend, began Kobe with an elaborate salute. Yet it does appear that we have already been so generous, thou needst not to labor. I rejoice with thee in the good fortune. More, I would even share it with thee. Pray from the purse which must be bulging, else thou wouldst be busy in your shop exact, but to humble shekels and lend them to me until after the nobleman's feast this night. Thou wilt not miss them ere they are returned. If I did have 2 shekels, Banser responded gloomily, to no one could I lend them, not even to you, my best of friends, for they would be my fortune, my entire fortune. No one lends his entire fortune, not even to his best friend. What? Exclaimed Kobe with genuine surprise. Thou hast not 1 shekel in thy purse, yet sit like a statue upon a wall. Why not complete that chariot? How else canst thou provide for noble appetite? 'Tis not like thee, my friend. Where is the endless energy? Does something distress thee? Have the gods brought to thee troubles? A torment from the gods it must be, Banser agreed. It began with a dream, a senseless dream, in which I thought I was a man of means. From my belt hung a handsome purse, heavy with coins. There were shekels which I cast with careless freedom to the beggars. There were pieces of silver with which I did buy finery for my wife and whatever I did desire for myself. There were pieces of gold which made me feel assured of the future and unafraid to spend the silver. A glorious feeling of contentment was within me. You would not have known me for my hard-working friend, nor would it have known my wife. So free from wrinkles was her face, and shining with happiness. She was again a smiling maiden of our early married days. A pleasant dream indeed, commented Coley. But why should such pleasant feelings as it aroused turn thee into a gloom statue upon the wall? Why indeed? Because when I woke and remembered how empty was my purse, and the feeling of rebellion swept over me. Let us talk it over together, for the sailors do say, we ride in the same boat, we too. As youngsters, we went together to the priest to learn wisdom. As young men, we shared each other's pleasures. As grown men, we have always been close friends. We have been contented subjects of our kind. We have been satisfied to work long hours and spend our earnings freely. We have earned much coin in the years that have passed, yet to know the joys that come from wealth, we must dream about them. Ah, are we more than dumb sheep? We live in the richest city in all the world. The travelers do say none equals it in wealth, but about us is much display of wealth, but of it we ourselves have not. After half a lifetime of hard labor, thou, my best friends, hast empty purse, and sayest to me, may I borrow such a trifle as 2 shekels until after the nobleman's feast tonight, this night? Then what do I reply? Do I say, here's my purse, the contents will I gladly share? No, I admit my purse is as empty as thine. What is the matter? Why cannot we acquire silver and gold more than enough for food and robes? Consider also our sons, Spencer continued. Are they not following in the footsteps of their fathers? Need they and their families and their sons' families live all their lives in the midst of such treasures of gold, and yet, like us, be content to the banquet with sour goat's milk and porridge? Never in all the years of our friendship didst thou talk like this before. The answer, Kobe was puzzled. Never in all these years did I think like this before. From early dawn until darkness stopped me, I have labored to build the finest chariots and many men can make. Soft-heartedly, hoping someday the gods would recognize my worthy deeds and bestow upon me great prosperity. This they have never done. At last, I realize this will never do. Therefore, my heart is sad. I wish to be a man of means. I wish to own lands and cattle, to have fine robes and coins in my purse. I am willing to work for these things, with all the strength in my back, with all the skill in my hands, with all the cunning in my mind. But I wish my labors to be fairly rewarded. What is the matter with us? Again, I ask you, why can't we have our our just share of the good things so plentiful for those who have the gold which to buy them? Would I know an answer? Kobe replied. No, better than thou am I satisfied. My earnings from my lyre are quickly gone. Often must I plan and scheme that my family be not hungry. Also, within my breast is a deep longing for a lyre large enough that it may truly sing the strains of music that do surge through my mind. With such an instrument could I make music finer than even the king has heard before. Such a lyre thou shouldst have. No man in all Babylon could make it sing more sweetly, could make it sing so sweetly. Not only the king, but the gods themselves would be delighted. But how mayest thou secure it while we both of us are as poor as the king's slaves? Listen to the bell. Here they come. He pointed to the long column of half-naked, sweating water-bearers, plodding laboriously upon the narrow street from the river. 5 abreast they marched, each bent under a heavy goatskin of water. A fine figure of man, he who doth lead them. Kobe indicated the wearer of the bell, who marched in front without a load, a prominent man in his own country. 'Tis easy to see. There are many good figures in the line, Banzer agreed, as good men as we. Tall, blond men from the north, laughing black men from the south, little brown men from the near countries, all marching together from the river to the gardens, back and forth, day after day, year after year, not of happiness to look forward to, beads of straw upon which to sleep, hard grain porridge to eat. Pity and poor brutes, Kobe. Pity them I do, yet thou dost make me see how little better off we are, free men, though we call ourselves. That is truth, Kobe. Unpleasant thought though it be, we do not wish to go on year after year living slavish lives, working, getting nowhere. Why we not find out how others acquire gold and do as they do? Kobe inquired. Perhaps there is some secret we might learn if we but learn if we but sought from those who knew, replied Dancer thoughtfully. This very day, suggested Kobe, I did pass our old friend Arcade, riding in his golden chariot. This, I will say, he did not look over my humble head as many in his station might consider his right. Instead, he did wave his hand that all onlookers might see him, pay greetings, and bestow his smile of friendship upon Kobe, the musician. He is claimed to be the richest man in all Babylon, Benzer mused. So rich the king is said to seek his golden aid in affairs of the treasury, Kobe replied. So rich, Benzer interrupted, I fear if I should meet him in the darkness of night, I should lay my hands upon his fat wallet. Nonsense, reproved Kobe. A man's wealth is not in the purse he carries. A fat purse quickly empties if there be no golden stream to refill it. Arcade has an income that constantly keeps his purse full, no matter how liberally he spends. Income, that is the thing, ejaculated Banzer. I wish a income that will keep flowing into my purse, whether I sit upon the wall or travel to far lands. Arcade must know how a man can make an income for himself. Thou suppose it is something he can make clear to a mind as slow as mine. Methinks he did teach his knowledge to his son. No, sir. No, sir. Kobe responded, did he not go to Neve? Nineveh. And so it is told at end, become without aid from his father, one of the richest men in the city. Kobe bringeth to me a rare thought. A new light gleamed in Banzer's eyes. It cost nothing to ask wise advice from a good friend, and Arcade has always that. Never mind, though our purses be as empty as the falcon's nest of a year ago. Let that not detain us. We are weary of beginning with a gold in midst of plenty. We wish to become a man of means. Come, let us go to Arcade and ask how we also may acquire incomes for ourselves. Thou speakest with true inspiration, Banzer. Thou bringest to my mind a new understanding. Thou makest me to realize the reason why we have never found any measure of wealth. We never sought it. Thou hast labored patiently to build the staunchest chariots in Babylon. To that purpose was devoted your best endeavor. Therefore, at it thou didn't succeed. To strove to become a skillful lyre player, and at it I did succeed. In those things toward which we exerted our best endeavors, we succeeded. The gods were content to let us continue thus. Now at last we see a light, bright like that from the rising sun. It betteth us to learn more than we may prosper more. With a new understanding we shall find. Let honorable ways to accomplish our desires. Let us go to Arcade this very day, Banzer urged. Also let us ask other friends of our boyhood days who have fared no better than ourselves to join us, that they too may share in his wisdom. Thou wert ever thus thoughtful of thy friends, Banzer. Therefore, hast thou many friends? It shall be as thou sayest. We go this day and take them with us. And then it's literally like a little money tree plant. It's kind of cute. Alright, you guys. So tomorrow we'll read chapter 2 of Creative Visualization and The Richest Man in Babylon. I'm excited. I'm really enjoying these two. I believe we can get through these within this coming week. The first book we ever read was 4 Agreements, and I kind of been reading in and out between books. Oopsies. But if it's your first time here, my name's Cimonealise. You can call me Cici, C-I-C-I, capital C's on me. Please and thank you. And I stream daily on beauty, self-care, and more. And I'm a licensed esthetician, mommy, massage therapist, and more. And I love being here with you guys every day. We've been doing it now for almost 6 months. I stream daily and it's been a good time, so make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe, share if you care, and if you want to chat with me, subscribe to Peaceful People's membership if you want to chat with me. And I hope to see you guys there. Okay, I love you, bye-bye. Okay, I love you, bye-bye. I think I got it right here. Oh my goodness.